Here we go. I'll do what it takes, the song says, and that's what you're doing. Hello, my amazing friends. Welcome to day number 5. When did we get to day number 5? I don't know, but here we are. High five the camera, high five the camera. Say hello to everybody, say hello to everybody. If you got your cameras off, you know the deal, Can't see your smiling faces with your cameras off. Let's get the cameras turned on as we welcome everybody to day number 5. Litza, good to see you. 1 a.m. if I remember right. Who else we got? We got Gail, got Ina, Monique, Sammy, Rachel, Dr. Debbie Gay, Coach Mark Bacon's in the house, Ed, Sharon, Jenny, Flavia Leggett, Dee, Joyce, Jackson. Okay, Vanessa, let's get the cameras on. Elizabeth, Jenny, let's get the cameras on. Paul, Ali, let's get the cameras on, everybody. So good to see you all. And I'm especially excited about today because, see, you've done so much work this week. You've worked so hard on yourself this week. In fact, what you've been doing is you've been in that motivation stage, right? You've been learning all about yourself. You're learning all about the deeper things about yourself. You had commitments. You've done homework. You've had late nights, early nights. And you're here because you've completed all the homework. You've completed all the assignments. You know the deal. Get that right hand up. Get that right hand up. Everybody get that right hand up. Reach behind. Give yourself a pat on the back. Tell yourself, I did it. I did it. I'm a finisher, because this is day number 5. And day number 5 has one theme. How do you take motivation and continue it into momentum? Because momentum is easy once you've got motivation. Right now, you've got you're going, you're doing. Right? The last thing you want to do is go, let me pull back. Now I've got to get re-motivated. Life is going to happen. So today is all about keeping that momentum going, keeping you moving forward, those next steps that are going to help you keep going towards your goals. In fact, this guy that we're going to bring up on stage, you know him, Mr. Shane Bird. He's the king of moving from motivation into momentum. Think about it. He was a bullfighter for 19 years, nationally, internationally. He was a coach. He transitioned to coaching farmers, and over the last 5 years, he has become a 7-figure coach. He is the head coach of Richmond Inns, Point One Inner Circle Mastermind, co-facilitator of the Pro Coach programs with Tony Kay. He is the husband to the incredible Jade, the father of 3 sons, Mr. Shane Bird. Let's welcome him to the stage, the 7-figure coach. Let's go bring Mr. Shane Bird onto the stage.
Y'all ready for this? Come on now, raise the energy. This is day 5. Y'all ready for this? Very cool. Welcome, Chris Lianos, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate that intro. And I just want to again acknowledge everybody who is showing up for day number 5. As Chris mentioned, you are all the finishers. You're moving yourself into becoming that top 0.1% of the population of people who say they're going to do something and then they follow through. And really impressed. We only lost one person overnight. We just lost one person from the homework tasking, which unfortunately came so far. Really, but they got 4 days out of 5, which is 80%, which is, unfortunate, but that's just where it's at right now. So again, congratulations to everybody who did do the homework. In fact, as we go ahead and look at that, look, this is everybody here. Well, almost everybody. If you got the homework done in the last couple of hours, you're probably not on that slide, but I do want to celebrate everybody who did put in the effort and get the homework done as well. So congratulations. Massive day yesterday where we realized where we're giving away our power. Like, what are those different areas we're giving away our power? And the deepest part of that is who I'm not. It's who I'm not being right now that's holding me anchored to the center of the comfort zone right now. And by overcoming that and becoming someone new, then we can have that mindset that's going to be able to help us get to where we want to be in 12 months' time. And, on day 1, we all wrote down the goals on day 1, and I was pretty impressed. I went through those goals and was really loved what I was seeing. Has everyone got their day 1 goal written next to them somewhere? You got it down there beside you? Yeah, so very cool, because I want to make sure that the goal wasn't just ink on paper. In order to get that goal, we first got to go through the motivation, build up that, and then get the momentum going, and now hold on to that momentum and maintain the momentum going forward, because then you can get to that point of mastery. the mastery of your mindset so that you can keep evolving and growing through all the different layers. Because as you grow, there's going to be another level, right? There's a devil in every level. So we talked about what's holding us back and what's stopping us. Also had the amazing Kenny. Oh my gosh, isn't he just a ball of energy? So good, right? And you never leave a conversation after talking to Kenny, like you never leave that without being hyped up and ready to rock and roll and ready to take action. And really, really cool for him to share some of the insights that he faced in that last 15, 16 months since he came and joined the Point One program, but how he also had to incorporate a new mindset for himself when he did go through those moments where he was on red, where things weren't going so well. When he talked a lot about the comparison and stuff like that as well. So really cool to get those insights from Kenny on how he overcame those mindset challenges as well. Now, we're going to get right into today in a hot second, but just remember, if you've been here to all 5 calls live, then we do have the bonus call number 6, which will be straight after this, and we're going to leave it up to complete honesty. We do have the run sheet, we do have the roll call, but complete honestly, if you've been here for all 5 sessions, just come back to this Zoom link straight after we close the room today. Chris and I will be there to answer any questions that you have, and we'd love to just spend that extra time with you. We've got about sort of 45 minutes locked in there for that as well, so really looking forward to doing that. So today we're going to get clear on any of those last limiting beliefs or things that might be stopping you right now, and then I've got a bit of a recap all planned, lined up, ready to recap those last 4 days, which is going to be super, super cool. And then we're going to build out a customized roadmap for you in order for you to go from where you're at right now to get to that 12-month goal that you've written down. In fact, if you've got your 12-month goal on a bit of paper, just wave it in the camera, or maybe it's on your tablet or something like that. Just pick it up, just so that we know, yeah, Julie's got it there, Dee's got it there, I see Litz's got it there, Jamie's got it there, Megan's just flipping pages because it's so far back from all the page notes, and I see Gay as well as Mark Bacon. Very cool. So that's the target, right? That's where we want to go. And after we've given that clear roadmap, we're going to, if it's okay with you, I'd like to present a bit more of an in-depth opportunity on what that looks like to speed up your progress and get that result much, much faster than what you currently perceive as possible right now. So if that's okay with you, we'll share that with you. Now, some of you may just think, you know what, I'm going to have a go on my own, which is completely fine. But Chris and I would love to present that opportunity so that you can get results faster in your life, because there's one thing we do know. The one thing you cannot get back is time. We can get money back, that's okay, but you cannot get back time. Time is ticking, and it's going to continue to tick as well. Now, the reason why it's important is I would hate for you to have wasted these last 5 days, or these 4 or 5 days, right? Because, like Chris mentioned, like I've mentioned, it's all about building that motivation, which you've done. And now's the opportunity to go into momentum, right? Now, the problem that most people have is they get to that point where they get out, they finish the training and they switch the computer off. But unfortunately, we switch the mind off as well. We switch the brain off. It's kind of like, I never had like a chocolate bar at Christmas time or maybe Easter, and you've eaten a couple of bites and then you put it in the fridge again. I'll come back to that later on. And then you kind of forget about it. It sort of slips into the back of the fridge. And you go back a few months later and it's gone all white or crusty. Anyone ever had a chocolate bar like that before? Or maybe worse, I've got 3 brothers. I go back and me bloody brothers have been in there and they've stolen it, right? So this is the reason why working on the mindset, going back to the fridge to make sure the chocolate bar is okay, is really, really important, because that's where the momentum is. That's what's going to serve you going forward. So the opportunity here is, how do you get momentum and how do we keep that going? So that's what we're going to cover today. But before we do it, I did also want to congratulate a couple more people that booked an application call overnight or on the call yesterday. So actually, I saw Jeannie's in the house. Can we have Jeannie come on up? We'd love to have a chat with you. We had a great conversation. Well, Chris had a great conversation with Jeannie there on call number 2 or 3, 2, I think it was. So, hey, Jeannie, welcome.
Hi, Shane. How are you?
Were you just snacking on a bit of chocolate?
No, I was snacking on a little bit of a muffin.
Well, just as good, right? Probably a little bit healthier for you. Hey, just wanted to first of all say congratulations on booking that application call. Curious, what led to you making that application?
I need the support. I'm tired of doing it alone. I've been trying. It's like, I've had other accountability groups, if you will, and it just they just all fell off the wagon, so to speak. It's like, after it kind of hit a certain point, and it's like, and it was gone, and the reality of it is that, I have bigger aspirations. I have bigger goals and dreams, and, my goal is really to, not only to benefit myself, of course, but, I have a calling to help other people I want to leave a legacy and break those generational curses of scarcity and just you know, for my son. I want to set that example for him, and that's the biggest thing for me. Um, quite frankly, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Um, but I do know that when we're meant to do something, that a way will take and present itself. And yeah, that's what it is. It's just wasn't expecting you to pull me up here today. I just it's Thanksgiving here in the U.S. I've had kind of a wonky kind of day emotionally, and you know, so it's like, but that's what it is. It's like I need that ongoing support. It's huge, and but from people that have the same big goals and aspirations, not from people that are just satisfied with their 9 to 5, quite frankly.
I love that. I love that. And that's something that Chris and I are really motivated to help with, and to help people like you say, you know, break that generational cycle and set yourself and set the kids up and set, you know, I'm sure that letter from your great grandchild was a very powerful process for you. So what's it going to mean to you to be able to have that support in order to be able to, you know, achieve those things that you really desire?
It would be priceless because you know, you've heard the expression most likely where it's like you know, when like raising children, that it takes a village. But you know what, success and even in business and your personal life, it takes a village as well. And I've just been doing it alone for too long and too many years. And quite honestly, just this past week, being in a great deal of prayer. I know not everybody's a believer, but you know, again, I'm a big one, a huge woman of faith, and being in prayer, I sought the Lord, and I said, you know, Lord, I said, why have I struggled? Why, when I see success for so many other people, why can I not get that, like break that ceiling and get past a certain level of success? And he said, because you don't ask for help. And so that's what I'm here for. Because I also want to teach others that it is okay to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It is truly a sign of strength to ask for help, because we can't do it alone. It's that mastermind. My strengths are somebody else's weaknesses, and somebody else's weaknesses are my strengths. And like I said, it takes a village.
Look, I really, really love that. And Chris and I are both, yeah, we're really looking forward to helping you, not just in the group, for, you know, in the community, but also with some one-on-one calls as well. So let's give it up for Jeannie. Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes. Appreciate you, Jeannie, and yeah, like I say, Chris and I are both looking forward to having that conversation and then working with you going forward, and providing that environment and that community for you, because we've all got those big goals, and it's, you know, it's really important that we achieve those rather than them just being ink on paper. So really looking forward to that. So overnight we also had a couple of questions as well. So one of the questions was actually, Shane, you didn't really like lay out exactly what's in the Performance One offer. So would it be okay if I just quickly share with you, just take 2 minutes to show you what's offered in there, everything that's included in there as well, and then we can move on. So what do we get here in Performance One? So Performance One is you're going to maintain 12 months access to the Underdog Academy, which is the Tiny Challenge course and the Challenge Traffic Secrets. In fact, I had a question, hey Shane, what's in the Underdog Academy? What's included in all of that stuff? So Underdog Academy is the program that you signed up with through Richmond, which gives you the Tiny Challenge course and the Challenge Traffic Secrets, and it gives you the Tuesday calls as well, right? And you all got included in that either 6 or 8 weeks worth of accountability with myself. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to extend that, a membership of that, so you can keep coming to those calls. You can keep getting the support from all of that for 12 months in the Underdog Academy. Plus you'll get unlimited boot camps and unlimited pro coaches. So when you signed up with the 6 or 8 week program, you got 1 boot camp, 1 pro coach. So you can come to unlimited 3-day pro coaches and unlimited boot camps as well. What else are we going to do? Well, we're going to extend accountability, obviously, as well. So you'll get the 12 months accountability. So you'll be getting the weekly messages at the start of the week and the back of the week from myself, or to be myself or Chris going forward, and just with the task setting and then the progress report as well. Plus, you'll also maintain the Monday morning accountability call as well, which is at 7 a.m. You're also going to get an additional call, which will be weekly Performance One Mindset Group Coaching, which will be facilitated by Chris and or myself. Sometimes it'll be both of us. Sometimes it'll be one of us. So that's a call that we have every single week, and that's all mindset-related questions. So, hey, what are we working on now? What's that fear that's come up this time? What's that doubt? What's that limiting belief? What's that thing that you're resisting the most right now? And in fact, I encourage everybody who does have that opportunity to come to that call is come with an awareness on what am I resisting doing most right now in my business and in my life, and we can help coach you through that. And because it's a mindset call as well, it doesn't have to be a business mindset related question. It might be a personal mindset related question, which is, we're more than happy to take those questions because we know that anything that's holding you back in personal life is going to reflect that in your business as well. So that's what you get there as well. Plus, we're also going to throw in the 6 one-on-one coaching sessions with Chris or myself. So that's what you get as you come into Performance One. Laid out all out there. You've got the 12 months access to the Underdog Academy. You get the accountability for 12 months. You've got the weekly mindset call as well. And then you're going to get the one-on-one coaching sessions with Chris and myself. So that's what's included there into the in the Performance One. In Performance One. And we'll just go over it again a little bit later in the session as well for anything else that we have. Now, we also had a couple of other questions. A couple of other questions that came through. One of them was, hey, I want it, but just not right now. Maybe in the future. You know, and I actually mentioned just earlier about how time is the only thing that we have that we're not going to be able to get back. So it'll be okay if I just share a quick diagram on how, like, leveraging your time right now and why now is the right time to do that. Would it be okay if I just share a quick diagram there? So this is a diagram. Some of you may have seen this. This is what's known as the 3 futures. We all have 3 futures, right? So if this is me here today, right? And let's say we're going to go into 12 months. And this is a 12 months time here. This is the time that we have today until 12 months in the future. Now, if I was to say, oh, look, it's coming up to Christmas and then January's going to be busy, you know what? Can I start at the end of January? What I'm doing is I'm going to start here, which means I have less time because that has an end point. We all have an end point, which means time is always getting less. Right now, you have this much time. But if I say I'll do it later, then I'm going to have even less time. If I'm to say I don't have time now, I'm actually lying to myself because I have all the time now. I wait 2 months, now I've got less time, which means I have even less time in the future. So this is why time is really important. But why is that really important? Because, you know, on this training, we've been making little decisions, commitments, and choices as we go. You know, this is exactly why we did that homework. We've made 4 choices, decisions, and commitments as we go forward. Now, all of those decisions, commitments, and choices fall into one of 3 categories. We can make blue line decisions. A blue line decision is where we get some sort of growth and then we taper off. We forget about it. We forget about the chocolate bar in the fridge and then we drop. And then we go back, oh man, I've got to do something more, which means I've got to go back through the motivation, which is hard. And then we come back up here to the point where we can kick into momentum and normally we settle. And then we come back. And what we do is we just taper back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. So in 12 months, we're pretty much in the same place as we are now. We're still struggling with the same things. We've still got the same comfortable problems and nothing's changed. Here's the worst thing that'll happen is we'll walk out of here. We won't apply anything we've done and we'll redline ourselves. And things just get worse and worse and worse and worse. And you get down here to the point where we quit and we just let ourselves down again. I shared a lot on day number 1 about the times that I'd almost quit or I had quit and I just disappointed myself, right? But here's what we do. We have this opportunity now where we can make green line decisions and continue to make green line decisions. These 4 decisions from the homework you've done are all green line decisions. And there's an opportunity to make more green line decisions so you can have better results so that in 12 months, you're up here. Rather than stuck here, struggling to find tiny challenges, maybe getting 1 client a month, maybe once every 2 months. Up here is where we can get consistent flow of tiny challenges and consistent flow of income. So it's all about what decision and what decision and what line will I end up on right now. So that's how I always look at now is not the right time. Like now is the only time when you have all the time. Versus if I wait, then I'm going to have less time, right? Which is really, really important to maintain the momentum that we've got now so that we don't have to build the momentum again in 2 months' time. The second question we had is, hey, I want in. Shane, Chris, I want in. I just don't have the 497 to start today. I need to get more clients. So it'd be okay if I share a little bit of maths equation for you. I'm not a mathematical genius. I did about 70% at school, but that was my best subject. But if I share a little bit of maths on you, on how you can turn a $5,000 investment into a ROI for yourself over the next 12 months. Be okay if I share what that looks like with you? Because once you see this, it's just going to help explain a lot of the stuff as well. So let me Oh my gosh, we've covered so much here, haven't we? What is the math, right? So the maths is quite simply, if we go 12 months, we've got a 12 months membership opportunity here, which is 5K. That's where we're at right now. That's the opportunity that we've got here today. So I'm going to do basic maths first, and then I'm going to give you the top 0.1% maths after that, right? The basic maths is if you were to just do the basic and just do enough to get by, you join us in Performance One, you do 12 months, and you get one client per month at 3K, for example. You just get one additional client to what you might be getting right now. Okay, let's say you get an additional one client at 3K per month. That equals 36K over 12 months, right? 12 months, 3K each, 36K, which is a 7.2 ROI. That's all right, isn't it? You don't get that in the bank. You don't get that anywhere just about, right? But it's a 7.2 ROI. But what do you really get? You're going to get lifetime mindset upgrades.
Yeah.
You're going to get those upgrades for life, and you can keep building on that and growing on that, right? Which is going to be super cool to be able to do. So that's the basic maths. That's what at the very least I would expect you to be able to get from Performance One. But if we go into the 0.1% maths, right? What is the 0.1% maths look like? Well, again, we start out, and let's say just for the first 6 months, you just get one client per month. So we do 6 months at 3K, which equals 18K, right? And then because as you do that, you get better, you got more experience, you got lots more support from Chris and myself, and able to improve yourself as a competent coach, and your confidence goes up as well. So let's say for the next 6 months, you actually sign 2 at 3K. So that there is going to come up to a total of an extra 36K, right? So right here, we've got 54K. Now you can see already 54K, that's 10 plus, like that's 10 times your ROI. But here's what's going to happen. Because you've done that, you've got 6 clients in the first 6 months, plus you've got another 12 clients through the next 6 months. You're going to end up with 18 clients. And then at some time through that 12 months, you're going to create a premium offer as well. So let's say of those 18, you convert 4 of them into a 10K program. So that's an extra 40K with an extra 40K over here, which makes that a total of 94K. Oh, 94. I almost added another one in there. I almost gave you 95 just because I wanted to help you out. But it gives you a 94K, which is an 18.8 ROI. You do not get an 18 times ROI anywhere else, do you? So this is how you can consistently grow your coaching business just by an investment right today of $5,000. But you also remember, you're going to keep the lifetime upgrades. And this is the thing that made the biggest difference in my life, and I'm sure Chris will attest, is those mindset upgrades pay out in all areas of your life. And this is the opportunity that you have right now to be able to create a massive, massive impact in your life right now. Make sense? Bird math flies high. It does. I know. Pretty cool, right? In fact, give it up for the maths.
Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I'll do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chain.
Very cool, very cool. And then the last one is, and this is one that sort of pops up, is, I really want it, but I've failed so many times before. Am I actually capable? Because, it's a real thing that we've been knocked back before, or we've tried something before and we've failed. And now we start to lack the belief that I can actually do this. So if anyone here is in the room that's in that boat right now where, I really want it, but geez, do I actually think I'm capable to do that? I'm open to having that conversation with someone who'd like to break through that today so that they can get themselves into momentum and stay in momentum. So if you're in that boat right now where you feel like, I really want it, but I'm not sure if I'm capable, then type me in the chat box. And like I say, I'm open to having that conversation with someone.
Okay, light it up, people, light it up. If this is you want this opportunity, but you're wondering, like, can I do it? I've worked on things in the past. I'm not sure about me at the moment. Put a me in the chat so Shane can get an opportunity to help. Looks like we've got some high achievers in the room, mate.
That's all right. That's all right. Look, I just wanted to present that opportunity. And, maybe you're that person who's just, you've opened up the link, you've filled it in, and you're like, Do I do it? Do I not? So if that is you, then this is that opportunity for you. But looks like we're pretty good, mate, which is a great indication. The 5 days is working, which is great. We're getting people to start to believe in themselves, even though maybe in the past it hasn't before. So with that being said, then let's just carry on. Let's just keep moving along. I'm more than happy to do that. What do I want to do next? I want to do this. Let's go into the recap, right? What did we cover over the last 4 days? Well, the first thing was we learned about the Ascension model and the steps that it takes in order to be able to have that top 0.1% mindset, right? And then day number 2, we talked about those 9 areas. What are those 9 key areas that we want to overcome? And what is the pathway? Well, that is the pathway. Those 9 areas, overcoming them is the pathway forward. Then on day number 3, we quite simply went, well, what are those old behaviors, habits, and traits that got us to where I am today? And then what are the behaviors and habits and traits that I want to incorporate going forward? And, I'm sure everybody here had some really cool things written down, which is a really great list of things to review every single day. But we also talked about how am I going to start incorporating those things? Because I can write it down. Again, I can write a goal on my paper, but that's just ink on paper. I can write down the behaviors, habits, and traits on paper, but it's not until I actually take action on that and implement it. So really, really cool to be able to do that. And then the next one was, what are the spheres of influence? Where am I giving away my power? Where is it that I'm giving away most of my power right now? And once we got through and clear on that, now we know exactly, specifically what we're going to work on going forward. So that was what we covered over the last 4 days. I want you to write this down. And I mentioned this earlier, and I know it's been mentioned by a couple of other people. Confidence and self-worth comes from keeping promises to ourselves. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you diminish a part of yourself. It's such a powerful statement. I actually heard it from a guest speaker on a Tony Robbins training once, actually. Confidence and self-worth comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you diminish a part of yourself. And Chris and I really want to help you keep those promises. So what are the promises you've been making to yourself? I've already mentioned it. Your day 1 homework, I choose. Your day 2 homework, I decided. On day 3, we committed to taking some actions. And yesterday on day 4, we decided again. You see, over the last 4 days, you've made commitments, decisions, and choices for yourself. And there's the opportunity now to build that self-worth and the confidence within yourself to get those results that you desire the most right now in your coaching business. Because once again, confidence and self-worth comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you break that promise to yourself, you'll diminish a part of yourself. And, someone who, we actually have a special guest in the house. We have a special guest in the house. I want everyone here to meet Christy. Now, some of you know Christy, some of you may not. Christy, oh man, what can we say about Christy? So much, right? So we're going to bring Christy up for a conversation. But before we do, solo mum, 3 kids, no family support, lost her husband 2 years ago. And prior to that, Christy and Ben were working on running the coaching business together. They had big dreams, they had big decisions, and they had big promises that they were going to keep. And then 2 years ago, that all taken away from Christy when she lost her husband. But even during that time, she made some promises to Ben that she was going to continue. She'd made promises that she was going to buy a house for the kids so that they always had a home. And, things got real tough there for Christy. And Christy came into Performance One right at the start of the year, or in about February, I believe. And she went all in. She went on all. She emptied everything out that she possibly could to make that decision for herself. And I'm going to bring Christy up, and we're going to have a bit of a conversation. I want everybody to take some notes around the beliefs and the thoughts that Christy has and what's helped her to get from where she was, 10 months ago to where she is right now. So let's bring Christy up. Actually, raise the energy as we bring Christy up.
Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chain.
Christy, I certainly appreciate your time. Like I mentioned, you're at home with the kids. You're doing this all on your own and all that stuff as well. But again, thank you for taking the time and jumping in here. First of all, I mentioned about, you and Ben had these dreams, and then, you set out to do it on your own. And talk to us a little bit about, making that promise and making that decision and the beliefs you had to overcome and how you overcame those beliefs in order to be able to believe into, where you're at right now. And, you've been getting some outstanding results. So just talk to us a little bit about that.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me, Shane and guys. Hi, everybody. 10 months ago, I did go all in on one-on-one coaching. But before that, so 2 years ago, I lost my late hubby. And 4 weeks after he died, Before he died, we made a promise to each other. Now, we sold our family home that we owned mortgage free to pay for cancer treatment, only because I made a promise to him I would buy my house back. What I didn't realize was after he was gone, I was forced onto Centrelink benefits from the government, and my age, which I'm now 44, and declined from the bank because I now cannot facilitate a 30-year loan on my own. So what happened was I didn't realize that financially I was stuck, and I had no job because I had a baby I was breastfeeding, and another one. But the belief was I tried to go it alone for the first year, and I just got fat, depressed, and lonely. I literally put on 20 kilos, became a walking depression, and it was not going to be the promise that I was going to be able to keep. So in the February, I made a very big choice. My late hubby left me a tiny little bit of money, which he thought was going to be able to buy my house in 5 or 10 years, but COVID happened and all that shit went down. So I had to go to zero to get ahead. I made one decision and bet on myself. I went all in because then I had nothing left to go, oh, maybe this and maybe that. I had to make it work. And when I bet on myself, I wasn't handing over money to somebody else. I was creating an investment, because when you put money into the bank and you hope to get a return, I wanted to make sure I was going to win. I was trying to win with a loser's mindset by having all the external sources trying to make me rich quick so I could buy my home to give to my kids. I even went to the bank for a mortgage and they said no. For starters, I had no money. They said, you need an income. And I went, oh shit. So what I did, I made a decision, bet on myself, and I went all in on one-on-one, because I needed that person right there and then at my beck and call, because I was the saddest, depressed, grieving wife there was. And when I made that decision, everything told me to give up and quantify some time, whatever. There was a point I decided to turn around and give up. That one conversation changed everything. And here I am today, and I'm sure I'm going to share some figures later, but the belief was I was trying to win with the loser's mindset, believing I could do it myself, and I can't. I was a coach for 10 years thinking I was at cause for my life, but my bank account was showing me how much an effect of my own ignorance I was. And when I took ownership of that and was able to express it honestly, I really looked in the mirror and I'm like, my bank account shows I am definitely not a cause. So I had to go, help me. And that's when everything changed.
I love that, Christy, and really, really powerful that the trying to win with a loser's mindset, and the the other thing is the classic ignorant tax. I mean, we've all been victim to the ignorant tax where I think I'm doing okay, but I'm actually paying tax on that, which means my bank account is really reflecting it, which is a great way to measure that in that context as well. So, Christy, I appreciate that. But hey, yeah, and I'd love for you to actually share some of those results that you have had over the last 10 months or 11 months, but more so even like, the results in the bank is great, but what does it mean for you as a mum? Because you shared something with us yesterday in one of the calls actually around what you've been able to do this year, which you just have never been able to do. So just want to speak a little bit to that.
Yeah. So one of the things I went in with is, obviously I went in with a money mindset first. Like, I just need to make money. Now that got me only so far. So for the last 10 months, for the first 6 months, I didn't make really any money. Until around the 5-month mark, I made $2,000, and then $5,000 sale. But what happened after that was shit just went nuts. I then closed, I made my first 100K in 114 days. And a quantified time, just so you guys know, I'm now sitting at 322,000 this year in the last 10 months. What that's been able to do more than money, forgive me for a minute, but I don't know who has kids here. And if you do, raise your hand with the kids that they give you a Santa list. This year, every year before that, I had to find a way to save money to even give my kids enough gifts at Christmas, which generally was the reject shop, right? This year, my kids wrote out their Santa list, and I'm buying everything on it. Everything. There is no rules to winning. The only rule is you can have everything you want. My kids have no idea that Santa is going to deliver absolutely everything on their list. You can't put a price on their little faces when they wake up this year. And not only Daddy coming down from heaven with Santa Claus, but they're going to open their eyes up to everything they've ever wanted. There is more to this game than you believe, but going from like 0 to 322, but my little heart stopper is their little kid, those little kids watching them. I get to actually give them what they want. I'm forever indebted. Thank you.
Christy, wow, like, yeah, I guess just being able to give, you know, imagine if we'd all grown up and we'd been shown that you can have everything that you desire. And now Christy's got that gift to be able to show that to the kids that, you know, no matter what you're going through, you can have whatever you desire. And Christy's going to show her kids that this month or next month, and it's going to be something that really sticks with them forever. So give it up for Christy. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chain.
Really cool, really cool. And, you know, this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And it's the beginning for all of us right now. And there's so much on the horizon for Christy and for all the other guest speakers we've had, but for everyone in this room. There's so much that's on the horizon for you, and you can have everything. You know, and I love that line. You know, the only belief I have is I can have everything. And for Christy to be able to take that belief on and show that to the kids as well is going to be absolutely, really, really amazing. So, hey, would now be an all right time, actually, if we could grab a quick testimonial from everyone, just for me and myself and Chris, so that we can help, you know, show what's really possible through this training, but also inspire others to maybe come and break through some of those fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, and anxieties that they've got. So, would it be okay if we just grabbed a quick testimonial from everyone? I'm just going to ask for a 30-second, 45-second video from you. So, here's what it can look like if I just bring this one here up. Yeah, cool. So, testimonial. Shout out to Shane and Chris. I've just completed the 0.1% mindset challenge. Mindset mastery. And it was. I was looking for, what I found was, and would I recommend Shane and Chris? So, for example, it might go something like this. Hey, shout out to Shane and Chris. I've just completed the 0.1% Mindset Mastery program, and it was absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe how much value was stacked in there. You know, what I was looking for was to overcome a couple of things like the fear of failure and the fear of judgment, right? But what I realized was there was so much more in that was playing out in the background, that there was fears in behind those fears. I had doubts in behind my doubts. I had anxieties behind my anxieties. So by doing that and understanding that now, I know exactly how and what I need to do in order for me to stay in momentum to get to that next level. Would I recommend Shane and Chris? Absolutely, 100%. I really appreciate you both. So that would be an example there. So here's what we do. We'll just ask you to go ahead and film it on your phone and then pop it into the group chat. So everybody's in the Mindset Mastery Facebook group chat. Just upload it in there. It'll inspire everyone else as well. And then Chris and I can download it from there, and we'll be able to use it as promotional stuff as well. And, you know, just to remind ourselves of, you know, some of the things that we've been able to help with the breakthroughs and stuff. So I'm going to give you, I'll give you maybe 2 minutes. I'll give you a song, and then we come back and we'll carry on with the rest of the session. So 2 minutes on the clock, just video, and then upload it into the group chat. That'll be much appreciated.
Could watch you for a lifetime. You're my favorite movie. 1,000 endings. You mean everything to me. I never know what's coming. Forever fascinating. Hope you don't stop running to me, 'cause
welcome back, welcome back. Appreciate everybody for taking the time to do that. Mike Mac, I see you're just finishing yours off. So yeah, really, really valuable. And like I say, Chris and I will download that, and just want to say personally thank you for doing that, because helps us, but also helps inspires others who may be just sitting on the fence, or I want to do some mindset work and all that stuff. And then I did see a few people, actually I just wanted to acknowledge everyone who has got Thanksgiving on today. I know it's a big commitment with family, and for you to show up, Chris and I actually really appreciate that, because family is really important to both Chris and I. So again, just wanted to acknowledge everyone there. If you're watching the recording and you're catching this while everyone else has got the turkey coma on the couch, then also just thank you for taking that time to set aside, making this a priority for yourself. So really, really cool to see that as well. So hey, would it be okay now if I did actually share what that what the deeper opportunity right here is, in order for you to be able to stay in momentum, so that you can make sure that we haven't just wasted these 5 days. This isn't just a chocolate bar in the fridge, so that you can make sure that you get into momentum and keep building on that, so that we can keep making these green line decisions, right? Because in order to do this, it's about, well, how do I best get supported? Where is the best support in order for me to stay in a green line decision state, rather than, unfortunately, we sit back in the green, in the blue, or at worst, we go red. We go red, right? Now, why is that actually important? Because this line here actually represents your mindset. In order to create a stronger mindset, it's all about green line decisions. If I create blue line decisions, my mindset's going to be the same, which means my life's going to be the same, which means my comfort zone is going to be the same. Or at worst, we settle and we end up giving up and we let ourselves down. So I just take this opportunity now to actually share exactly what is it in more detail is involved in Performance One. Well, Performance One is a custom-made package to get you to your first $100,000. So I've already mentioned you're going to get 12 months access to the Underdog Academy, including maintaining everything else in there with the Tiny Challenge course and the Challenge Traffic Secrets, valued at $4,997, right? We're going to increase your accountability to the 12 months as well. So you'll be getting the message at the start of the week and at the end of the week from us as well, in order to hold you accountable, which is, hey, what are your tasks? And the great thing about that is when you reply to those messages, if we see that maybe you're not right on the right track, we're actually going to go, hey, I think you should do this, or we're just going to cheer you on. If we think it's on point, we'll just be cheering you on. Great goals, really good. You'll go ahead and smash that out. So that's worth $2,997 as well, right? So you got the accountability. You're also going to get that weekly coaching call, weekly group coaching call, which is the weekly Performance One mindset group call, which again is facilitated by myself and or Chris as well. And it's around working on that mindset. And, we had a really great call this Wednesday, and it's just a great way to be able to work through those limiting beliefs. I see Jamie's nodding her head. There was a few others here. Mike Mack was there as well, right? So Ina was there. So really, really cool call for you to come and get through those breakthroughs. And quite often it's through someone else sharing that we get the breakthrough as well. And this is the power of a community, because they might bring up something that maybe we're a little bit scared to bring up, or we haven't even thought about. You're also going to get, as I mentioned, I'll just get myself out of the way here, you're going to get 6 one-on-one coaching sessions with Chris and myself, right? So you better block those into your calendar, and that's a 30-minute one-on-one session with Chris or myself throughout that 12-month period. So the total value there is $17,988, and you can come into that for as little as $4,997 paid in full, or $497 per month every month for 12 months. So the deposit is just a $497 deposit. Who is this for? It is for someone who is not consistent. It's for someone who is allowing their fears, doubts, beliefs, and anxieties hold them back. And it's for someone who is wanting more, someone who wants to get out of that comfort zone and grow and have more in their life. But who is it not for? Well, it's not for someone who's already making $250,000. It's not for someone who's satisfied with the results that they are getting in their business and really in life. And it's not for someone who's already receiving industry-leading awards. So why now? Why is now the best time for you? Because here's what Chris and I are going to do. We're going to give you a bonus workshop. So you're going to get we're going to help you get your first 3 Tiny Challenge registrations. It's a Tiny Challenge registration workshop. So block out the calendar. You come and join us in Performance One. Block out the calendar Monday the 9th of December from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And this is going to be a done with you process. This isn't a done for you process. It's a done with you process. So as we do it with you, you build the muscle, you build the strength in order to be able to do it. This is the power of having a PT in the gym. They get in there and they show you how to do it as well, versus having the treadmill at home or the weight set at home. We get it all wrong. We're not got the technique right. We're going to make sure you get the technique right and help you get 3 Tiny Challenge registrations booked in that 2-hour period as well. So that's why now. What's the guarantee? Well, we just love to give you a 300% guarantee, if that's okay. 300% guarantee works like this. This works 100% of the time for 100% of the people who do 100% of the work. This is a key line, who do 100% of the work. Again, this is why we do it with you and we don't do it for you. We want to help you do the work. And when you do 100% of the work, 100% of the time, it will work 100% for you as well. So really important to have that, right? So yes, this is the only access that you can get to Chris and I in this capacity. If all this did was upgrade you to the top 0.1% mindset so you can consistently convert tiny challenges, would it be worth it? If all this did was gave you a community to stack your 1% mindset consistently and feel supported, would it be worth it? If all this did was got you one extra client a month at $3,000, would it be worth it? So what is it? Like I mentioned, it's 12 months mindset accountability coaching with myself and Mr. Chris Lianos. What does it do? Is we're going to give you a very clear pathway. We're going to lay out the pathway with the 12. This is what the Underdog Academy is. It gives you the pathway. Now, the pathway is Google Maps. The pathway is like when you jump in your car and you know your destination, your 12-month goal that you wrote down on day one, it automatically finds where you are and it gives you the blue line. This is what the pathway is, and Chris and I are going to help with you implementing that. The second thing it's going to do is give you the accountability. Now, what's that like? Obviously, it's the weekly check-ins plus that additional accountability call on the Monday, but it's like having a passenger in that car as you travel the route who knows exactly what lane to be in on the motorway. You know, I've never been following Google Maps and been in the wrong lane and then missed the turn off, even though it said turn off in 200 meters. And next thing is it passed and then it's got to reroute and it takes you longer. Well, this is like having someone in the car next to you that says, hey, jump in that left lane or jump in that right lane, so to make sure you get the exit and you don't miss it. It also gives you weekly Performance One mindset group call, plus the one-on-one coaching call with Chris or myself. Now, why is this important? Because that person in the passenger seat next to you can be a mechanic. So that if you break down, straight away there's someone there to help fix that car and get you back on track, change the tyre, put the fuel hose back on, whatever's broken down, right? So this is the power. That's what's included. You've got the big 4 areas there, as mentioned already. Plus, you're going to get the bonus workshop. The bonus workshop's going to come in here, and this is going to get you your first 3 tiny challenge registrations, and we're going to work with you throughout those 2 hours to get that. So that's valued at $2,997. So we've got a total value now of $20,985. Well, what does it mean? You know, it means you're going to get that 6-figure reward faster, because there's no doubt you can all get it. We just want you to get there faster, so that you can have those results that you want in your business. But what does it really mean? Is you won't let yourself down, and worst of all, it means you won't quit, because this is all possible for you. Chris and I all started out exactly where you are, and now we've been multi-award winning coaches. We get the opportunity to speak on some of the biggest stages in the world for some of the biggest trainings, live and virtual. This is all possible for you. Now, I know you might be thinking, but Shane, you've got to have some steak knives in there. Who wants some steak knives? Anyone need a set of steak knives right now? Let's throw some steak knives in there as well. Here's what we're going to do. So this is what you've got. You've got it all laid out there. You've got the Underdog Academy. You've got the accountability. You've got the weekly group coaching call, and you've got the one-on-one coaching calls. You've got the workshop there as well. Here's what we're going to do. For anybody who pays in full, we're going to upgrade you to 12 one-on-one coaching sessions with Chris or myself. So that's once a month. You can jump on a call with us. Yep, exactly. I see your face, Ellie, right now. Also, get this. I couldn't believe it when Richard mentioned this. He said anyone who pays in full can come to have 30 days inside 0.1 calls as well. So you can come to the 2.1 calls additional to all these other calls for 30 days. And you'll be there with Richmond and Tony. And you'll be seeing exactly how fast you can grow your business by coming into 0.1. So now we've got a total value of $31,979. Could it get any better? You guys love so far? Pretty cool, right? What if I told you there was more? What if I said there was a message from a special guest that we have? That's right. I've actually got a video here from Richmond. He was going to jump on live actually, but just had something pop up. So here's a video from Richmond. Let me share a video from Richmond, and then when we come back, we will carry on. So let me just share my screen. Here we go. Just give us a thumbs up if you can see and hear this.
Hey, what's up, everyone? If you're seeing this video, it means you've just got to the end of Shane and Chris's 0.1% Mindset Mastery Challenge. So I want to commend you guys for making this far, because one of the greatest traits that you can have as a person, as a friend, as a father, as a business owner, as a son, as a sister, as a mom, as a whoever you are, is the ability to follow through on exactly what you said you would do, despite it being uncomfortable, despite the timing being poor, despite the overwhelm with everything else, despite the, I just don't feel like it. And I believe that's one of the greatest traits that anyone can have, from a level of congruency and also authenticity, and just being a person of value. Because at the end of the day, if we say we're going to be there for someone and we cancel or we flake on them, then that's not a really good trait. And why am I saying that? Is because I've seen so many students in our world go from nothing to making literally millions of dollars, and it almost seems like it's overnight, but it's not. But they had one common trait that they all had, is that they followed through and said what they would do, and they would finish the task. But I've also seen on the flip side others that maybe really wanted that dream life and wanted to get to those 10K months or 100K months or even beyond, is the lack of follow through when it gets tough, the lack of follow through when things get inconvenient, the lack of follow through when, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the right time. And we all have that friend that's flaky, you know what I mean? And that's the key. If you become flaky with your business is done. If you become flaky with your friends, your friendship is done. If you become flaky with your parenting is done. And so I wanted to also jump on to speak to those who right now, I know, believe that Shane and Chris have made this insanely valuable offer to you guys. And congratulations, by the way, for those of you that actually hadn't made an application at this point. And I want to speak to those who right now just on that fence a little bit. And I know it's not an easy decision, and it shouldn't be. But at the same time, it's a decision that will allow you to get the life that you want and the business that you want. And so for those that haven't applied yet, I know that ultimately our goal is to get you on stage with your 6-figure award, making your acceptance speech. And in the last 30 days, just in the last 30 days, we measure everything in P1, and we track all their data, and we track all their income. And they have collectively made over $2 million inside P1. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it would be nice for you guys to have a piece of that $2 million. And so they made over $2 million inside P1 in the last 30 days, just in the last 30 days. And I share that because we want you there. And so for anyone here who has made an application to Shane or sitting on the fence, and you make an application and become successful in their program, because they're part of our team, I am going to personally absorb everything that you pay Shane and Chris into point one when the moment becomes right for you to join point one. Because point one is very expensive. Right now, as it stands, it's $25,000 USD, and that's paid in full. And I know that at some point, many of you guys would want to see that as your next step to join my inner circle. And if you invest in this mid pathway to get there, it's like, oh, then I have to invest more, and I just want to wait until just get into P1 at the end. And so here's what I'm going to personally do. Whatever you've paid to Shane and Chris, I'm going to absorb it all into your point one membership should you want to join point one later on. And so if you invested $5,000, then we'll take $5,000 off. And that comes out of my pocket. It doesn't come out of Shane and Chris's pocket. And so I wanted to put that offer out there for you guys and just make it a no-brainer and super irresistible, because this is the pathway to point one. This is the pathway to have that proximity. This is the pathway to walk out on stage with your 6-figure award. It's a pathway for you to actually say to yourself, I had these goals, I had these dreams, and I am the type of person that will follow through on it, especially when things get a little bit hard, especially when things get a bit tough, especially when it becomes inconvenient, because that's where the growth lies. And the best thing about having a 0.1% mindset is just doing the thing that you said you would do. And if we all did that, then I'm sure you can agree that your life will be very, very different and at a very different spot. And so, guys, I just wanted to jump to give you that special bonus and special announcement. And I know many of you guys are like, what? Like, it's going to absorb everything into point one, and so you don't have to pay more, you don't have to pay extra, and it allows you this stepping stone to get there. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to personally do, because I can't recommend Shane and Chris enough for you guys. And my reputation, my word, and who I affiliate myself with is at most important. And I know that they're going to be great stewards and great coaches and great mentors and just great people in your life to be able to take you to that next level in your coaching business. So guys, take on this offer. It is ridiculously insane. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it open for, but my suggestion to you is that link that you've been given, go to that link and book in that call. That is your immediate next step. Just book in that call and be that person that allows yourself to follow through and feel proud for doing what you said you would do. Guys, I'm going to pass it back over to Shane and Chris, but again, congratulations for making this far and well done for being a finisher. Keep believing and never settle.
Down and build me up, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I'll do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains.
Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool. And look, when Richmond presented that to Chris and I, we were like, whoa, are you sure? He's like, mate, yeah, most definitely. So essentially, what does that mean? I never brought a car before. Like, you might have gone and brought a $50,000 car. As soon as you drive that car off the car lot, it's worth $40,000. When you go to trade it back in, you might get $20,000. Well, this is like investing $5,000 in a car, and you go and get $5,000 back when you trade it in, when you come to join us at that next level. So absolutely insane offer, right? So it is a no-brainer, 100%. So, for everybody here, or maybe just for some of you in the room right now, I just only want to speak to maybe some of you in the room, that by now you should be getting this. The Performance One is your next step. Because, we've spent these 5 days working on our mindset. Maybe you've spent 5 months, 5 years working on your mindset. And you've got to that point now where you decided, I will make this happen. And as you do more and more work on your mindset, then you only find more momentum. Because it's in the momentum that you get to scale yourself and your business to where you want it to be faster. And having that support, having that environment from Performance One makes it so much easier, so much smoother, and so much faster for you. And it means that you can have those industry awards and, like Christy, have the opportunity to buy your kids everything that they want and give them what you'd love to give them. So the opportunity is here for you. It's all laid out here. You've already seen it a number of times. You get all of that, plus your full investment will be absorbed into your P1 membership when you come to join Point One in a full capacity. So you can go ahead, click on this link, apply for performance1.com, or click on scan the QR code. It's $4,997 paid in full, or $497 per month for 12 months. I'm going to drop one song, and then we'll come back and look at wrapping this up.
Falling too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip. Word upon your lip. Rather that you rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I'll do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes. Yeah, take me to the top. lost, I'm an apostrophe. I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. I'm just a product of the system of catastrophe, and yet a masterpiece, and yet I'm half diseased. And when I am deceased, at least I go down to the grave and die happily, and leave the body of my soul to be a part of me. I do what it takes, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes. You take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do what it takes.
All right, all right. Welcome back. Great to see everyone's still here, and appreciate anyone who did have to go, but you have to leave early. But I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who did take that opportunity. I've got a couple of notifications coming through here, so actually, if it's okay, I wouldn't mind just bringing a couple of people up just to congratulate them for booking a call. Actually, I see Gabby, you've just come back to your chair. I'd love to actually. Oh, she's just putting her earbuds in. I'd love to have a quick chat with Gabby if she's open for it. Can we get Gabby to come on up? Definitely still on mute. Hang on, let me help you with that.
Mute. Better. There.
There we go. We made it. We made it. First of all, I believe you're in the same boat as Litsa. 2 p.m. in the morning now. Is it 2 a.m. in the morning? Sorry.
2 a.m. That's why I have pajama. Yes.
Oh my gosh, absolute troopers, absolute troopers. Hey, you and I actually had a call yesterday, and you've decided to go all in on Performance One. So, what are you most excited about? Now making that decision. What are you most excited about? What's to come for you in the near future?
I was thinking about that today, and there are two things that really excite me the most. The first one is to have this feeling of not walking alone anymore. So I've been trying to make something by my own for the last maybe 2 years, and I was a bit lost in there, and I found my idea, and I was very happy, but I still was feeling alone. And now the possibility of sharing with someone what I'm going through and the fears that I have, it's like, oh, yes, safe space. So that was one of the first reasons. And the other one was realizing with the exercise of what are we not letting to be in our way, realizing that I have internal voices that I recognize them because they are affecting me in other areas of my life. But I didn't understand how far those voices were going, even into this project that I really love and I really believe. And I said, wow, if that happened in 5 days, and I could super clearly see how this was, that could become an issue or a barrier. I said, okay, this is good. And the other thing I told you about the coaching thing, that I really love the way you coach. I made a certification as a coach years ago, but the way you teach is super straightforward. So you have this thing. I really want to learn from you guys, because you have this way of asking so very specifically questions, and then you are like, oh, okay, I got it. I like it. This is straightforward. It's practical. I like it.
Very cool, very, very cool. Well, as with everyone, we're excited to get started with you as well, and to see you get on that path as well. So, so just for Gabby, but for anyone else who does jump in there, what's going to happen is, first thing is you're going to get an email. After we've done the payment agreement, you'll get an onboarding email, gives you all the dates and times and links and everything as well. Plus, don't forget to block out that workshop on Monday the 9th. Put that in the calendar, and we're going to help you get those first leads as well. And then we just start going to the calls, and you can start booking one-on-one calls with us as well once a month as well. So super excited for Gabby. Give it up for Gabby.
Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains.
Very cool, very, very cool. I am very aware of the time. I was going to celebrate a couple of others, but just in respect of time, I know we're already 7 minutes over. Oh my gosh, a little bit further than we wanted to do. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to pass the lens over to Mr. Christianos. He's going to wrap a couple of things up. Remember, if you were here for all 5 calls and you'd like to join us for the bonus 6th call, we'll log off here and just jump straight back in on that same link, shanebirdszoom.com. We will open it up in about 2 or 3 minutes after we close this down, and you can come and have any sort of open call Q&A, and we'll spend about 45 minutes together and help you out with whatever's going on for you right now. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off here. I say a personal thank you from me to you. A thank you from me to you for putting yourself first for 5 days, for 5 sessions, and making it through this. And same for everyone watching the recording. I just wanted to acknowledge everyone here for putting in that effort and watching the recording as well. So with that being said, Mr. Christianos, over to you, my friend, and I will see everyone else in the calls in the future.
Hey, absolutely amazing. Can we give it up for Shane? Can we give it up for Shane? What an incredible 5 days. Let's high five the camera. Give it up for Shane. Come on.
Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains.
All right, got my notes. We started today talking about motivation to momentum. We did a quick recap on behaviors or traits that are keeping us from moving forward. And then I love this. We got into talking about confidence and self-worth and how that comes from keeping the promises we make to ourselves. We heard from the incredible Christy. I mean, what a story. What a life. What decisions that she made. And I loved this thing. She talked about, right from the start, she talked about the importance of making a decision. And then she tried to go it alone. And then she became a version of herself that she didn't recognize. And you heard her explain that. I especially love this line. I hope you all write this down. Trying to win with a loser's mindset. And I think we all know exactly what she meant by that. She went all in on the one-on-one, and she made the decision to go all in on herself. And I love this. She was a coach. She understood the concept of cause and effect, but she was at the effect of her own ignorance. And Shane called it the ignorance tax. Just love that. Her bank account was the reflection of her not being at cause, and now her bank account is the reflection of her being at cause. In the first 6 months, I added up about 10K she'd made in her coaching business, and then in the next 4 months, so 10 months she's been in the program, 100K in 114 days, 322K now. And what that really means is that her kids are going to get everything that they want for Christmas. And that was incredible. That moved me. No rules to winning. She said, the only belief I have is that I can have everything. And then we heard about this incredible offer for Performance One, and the incredible offer Richmond made to absorb the cost of Performance One into your Point One journey when it's the right time. Ultimately where we are, let this be the beginning for you, not the end. Let this be the beginning of your future, of taking all the motivation you have right now and transferring that into momentum, because that is where the magic happens. For those of you coming to call number 6, we'll see you in a few minutes right back into this link. Remember, my friends, keep believing, never settle. See you soon.
Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes.